On June 5th, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission announced they were suing Binance US for selling unregistered securities. It sparked a 5% drop in Bitcoin and Ethereum over the course of just a few hours, and also sparked double-digit drops in most altcoins. The very next day, they announced that they were suing Coinbase as well. Yes, that's right, Coinbase. And the market responded by rallying. Bitcoin rallied all the way back up to its prior highs. And now we're drifting back down into slightly below the high of that sell-off range. So what does this all mean? In today's video, we'll share our thoughts on that news, how it may impact crypto, and we'll take an updated look at the charts. Let's dive in. News that the US SEC is suing both Binance US and Coinbase is really rattling the cryptocurrency world this week. And this doesn't sit well with us, and I'd like to discuss why. Now, let's start with a fundamental point. I fully support the SEC when they are actually protecting investors. That is, after all, their mandate. However, this situation seems to have strayed far from that goal. Let's consider Coinbase. They did their due diligence, approached the SEC to clarify which securities were unregistered, and they sought compliance, not conflict. Yet what they received were not answers, but threats of legal action. And then there's the blatant irony. Coinbase, which is a company endorsed by the government for public trading on the US stock market, is the same platform that the US government itself utilized to sell seized Bitcoin. So, despite the fact that the SEC is claiming that Coinbase is an illegal platform, the US government endorsed them and used their services. Now, suddenly they're deemed illegal and faced with a lawsuit. It really is exasperating, and it begs the question, is there an ulterior motive here? To us, this feels less like investor protection and more like a witch hunt against the pioneers of a financial revolution. It's not about ensuring safety and regulation in the crypto market, which we are all for. Rather, it seems like a deliberate effort to hinder those who dare to innovate and disrupt traditional financial norms. This will undoubtedly be a fascinating legal battle to follow. Here's to hoping the SEC redirects their focus back to the heart of their mission, which is true investor protection. By the way, this brings us to another question. What grants the SEC the authority to regulate a global industry like cryptocurrency? Yes, we need regulation, but perhaps a different, dedicated agency should be given this role. An agency that understands the complexities of crypto and can set the US as a proud model for future crypto regulation. But remember, regardless of how this lawsuit turns out, it's certainly not the end of crypto. Crypto goes on, and the world of blockchain technology and digital assets is just getting started. This is merely a bump on the road to Web3 implementation. Thanks for letting me share my thoughts on this. Now let's take a look at a few charts and dive back into the technicals. When the market suddenly plunged lower on June 5th, just about every altcoin in the market got blown up. That includes all of the top relative strength plays that we've been targeting. In the Morpheus Crypto service, we did stop out of our positions, but that's okay. That's what stops are for. And by having stops set in advance, you limit your loss no matter what happens and what the market throws at you. Now, what's quite notable here is that Bitcoin and Ethereum have recovered all of their losses from June 5th's sell-off. They've now pulled back over the past few hours this morning, but as of yesterday, they had actually recovered completely all of their June 5th losses. Now, what you need to know about the market right now is that there's a big divergence between most altcoins and Bitcoin and Ethereum, and this is likely due to the uncertainty about unregulated securities and Coinbase and so forth. And what we see here is that Bitcoin and Ethereum, as of yesterday, had recovered 100% of their losses from the June 5th plunge, which is pretty impressive. In fact, the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets rallied sharply after news that the SEC was suing Coinbase. Go figure. Since then, the market has pulled back, but we're still in the upper third of the highs from the recovery. Now, that being said, take a look at most of the altcoins we were looking at lately, and you can see that those that were reversing and trying to form bullish patterns have not recovered most of their losses. They bounced off their lows from June 5th, but still hanging out in the bottom third of their recent ranges. So big divergence that we're seeing. And that could be the case until we get some more clarity over where things may be headed here legally. So we're going to lay low in terms of looking for new altcoin trade setups right now. We want to see how things settle out and see if the altcoins respond and follow Bitcoin and Ethereum, or if they remain weak. Now, We typically will look for short positions and short setups if we've got a downtrending market. But right now, we're really just in a news-driven environment. And the best plan of action is probably just sitting on your hands and monitoring the market and letting things play out a little bit. It'll take some time, given the damage on these altcoin charts. It'll take some time for the charts to be repaired to a point where there's low risk trade setups. But over the next couple of days, we'll be keeping a close eye on any emerging relative strength, of course, looking at volume as well. And in our next video, we'll give you an update on anything we're targeting. But for now, we're just laying low. We're closely monitoring the divergence between the altcoin market overall and Bitcoin and Ethereum. In fact, we may start to see the Bitcoin dominance index surge higher as more money moves out of the altcoin market and into Bitcoin. So we'll keep a close eye on that development. And if we get a tradable pattern in Bitcoin or Ethereum, then we'll look to trade either Bitcoin or Ethereum. But right now, it's really just Chop City and news driven. We hope you enjoyed today's video and especially our thoughts on the recent news that's rocking the crypto world. We'll see you back here again on Friday with another Morpheus Crypto video.